The Northeast Rural Livelihood Project, that is NERLP, a central sector project of the Ministry for Development of Northeastern Region, was launched in March 2012, covering 2 districts each in Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura.
In this ministry, this program of NERLP, as it's known popularly, is one of the flagship programs. It's part of the focus we give on livelihoods. You know, traditionally we have been focusing on bridging gaps in infrastructure, but we do believe that we must look at ways of enhancing the incomes of the people at large, especially the disadvantaged, the women, and we are very fortunate that we are involved with this program, and it gives us a chance to be in direct touch with the beneficiaries.
NERLP is an externally aided poverty reduction project being funded by the World Bank.
Majority of the sort of poor people live in rural areas with no access to public services, or public programs are going to take a while to be reaching there. Their economic and social capital is fairly poor, so they're not able to access the private sector or the banking sector for that matter. So this continues to put them in a continued cycle of poverty, and this is where the Northeast Rural Livelihood Project comes in, to really try to improve the poverty situation, try to provide more improved livelihoods and build social, financial and economic capital for roughly 3 lakh households in the Northeast project.
It incorporates both self-help group model and community-based resource management model with emphasis on livelihood activities. The project aims to benefit about 3 lakh households directly across 1,645 villages and 11 districts. The project has adopted a saturation approach to cover at least 70% of the poorer households in the villages. The target population has been selected based on participatory rural appraisal technique. The reports also help better understanding of the village situation and draw a set of development possibilities for subsequent interventions. The Regional Project Management Unit, with the support of 11 district project management units in each of the project districts, 58 project facilitation teams at the block level and community service providers from each of the project villages, implements the project.
The key areas of these projects are poorness, vulnerability, sustainability and livelihoods. Livelihood being at the core of the project, our strategy is to improve the livelihood of the people through socio-economic empowerment and also to create new opportunities through critical gap-filling interventions, vocational training and values and development.
NERLP emphasizes on forming sustainable and vibrant primary institutions based on the principle of thrift and credit. Although formation of new self-help groups has been the major part of the community institution building, NERLP has also co-opted many good and viable existing self-help groups into its fold. Along with social mobilization, capacity building trainings are also given importance so that SHGs become well managed and vibrant. So far, more than 22,000 SHGs have been formed under NERLP. SHG federations, which are the second level of institutions, work as a social service provider, business entity and valued client of the formal banking system. SHGs in a village would come together to form a federation. 10 to 30 SHGs form a federation. 2 members each represent the respective SHGs at the federation meeting. The vision behind establishing a SHG federation is to promote self-reliance and a collective women force. So far, 767 SHG federations have been formed. Secretaries of the Rural Development Department of 4 project states are the nodal officers of the project who monitor and support the project at the state level. At the district level, respective deputy collectors chair the district level advisory committees to review progress and find convergence. NERLP, in collaboration with partner organizations, sponsors skill development training for the poor unemployed youth belonging to the project districts. It also ensures minimum 75% job placement in either government or private sectors. This skill training gives the youth a reliable platform to hone their talents and be a key player in the service sector or otherwise establish themselves as capable entrepreneurs. Important regional partners of NERLP are the Assam Downtown University, Don Bosco Institute and State Institute of Capacity Building. This is in addition to other 9 NSDC partners, 4 government agencies and 6 local partners. So far, NERLP has trained more than 4,400 unemployed youth in different trades and 2,290 of them have got jobs. In Mizoram, NERLP operates in Aizawl and Lunglei districts covering 9 rural development blocks. Poultry is one of the livelihood activities being promoted under NERLP in Mizoram. This woman member borrowed 2,000 rupees from SHG Seed Fund to start backyard poultry farming. Gradually, she began to acquire profits. Inspired, she further sought more loans and expanded her poultry farm. From January 2016 to June 2016, she earned a total income of about 2,26,000 rupees. This differently abled woman is 58 years old. Unable to sustain her family, she took a loan of 8,000 rupees from the SHG to start tailoring. She bought a sewing machine and accessories. She is a successful entrepreneur today. 3 trainees are employed in her shop. Handloom is another important livelihood activity being promoted under NERLP in Lunglei district of Mizoram. The SHG received Community Investment Fund of 1 lakh rupees to start the handloom unit. All the members are weavers. Each member earns between 5,000 to 10,000 rupees per month. Naga society has a strong social security system that covers all inhabitants. However, the poor find it difficult to maintain an acceptable standard of living due to severe economic hardships. The aged, widowed and the orphans are the worst sufferers. They are the poorest of the poor. This is where the NERLP stepped in. 11 blocks in 2 districts of the state, Peren and Tuensang, were brought under NERLP. Pig was bred for meat purposes, but gradually it has been transformed to a livelihood activity. In Peren, piggery cluster has been introduced benefiting widows and housewives. Through NERLP intervention, the members could adopt new technology of pig rearing with better output, faster growth rate, which is less labor intensive. It is also more economical and hygienic. This SHG member opened a tea stall to support her children's education. In order to expand the tea stall, she took loan from the SHG. With time, her profits soared and she started a hotel in the village. Her income doubled and she could afford tuition for her children. She has 5 children studying in the government village school. A beauty parlour and floriculture nursery are the other 2 entrepreneurial activities being operational under the project. In Sikkim, NERLP is being implemented in the South and West districts. Dairy, rural tourism in the form of homestay, floriculture, bakery, turmeric processing and candle making are the major livelihood activities being taken up by the self-help groups under the Rural Northeast Livelihood Project. Sikkim has been a major milk-producing state in the region. The agroclimatic conditions of west and south districts of Sikkim are suitable for dairy farming. NERLP has intervened to harness the basic skill for dairy farming inherent among the poor, since most households keep cattle. The project has given a boost to milk production. This milk collection centre at Lungchok in South Sikkim is a collective effort of the SHGs in the village. The Grameen Milk Producers Cooperative Society Limited operates such centres. Talking of tourism, Sikkim is one of the most sought after tourist destinations in India. NERLP has endorsed village or rural tourism in the form of homestay. Homestay has boosted the overall tourism scenario of Sikkim, as its rural hinterlands are endowed with immense natural beauty, heritage sites and cultural identity.
In Sikkim, I was very pleased when I found our SHG members very keen to open homestays. In fact, I have repeated this conversation to other states, and we do hope that our people also go for homestays, and so that they boost the tourism in the area.
It has been able to fulfill the inherent social objectives. The endorsement of rural tourism has ensured the dispersal of tourists from city to the villages. Bakery is one of the resourceful activities promoted under NERLP in Sikkim. Apart from the quality of its products, the SHG has also ensured that hygiene is maintained. The products are dispatched for marketing and sold at the sale outlets. Decorative candle making is another viable income generating activity promoted under NERLP. It finds a suitable market because of a vibrant tourism industry and the fascinating designs. The variety in the resource-based endorsement by NERLP is obvious. This member is involved in making fruit beer. The project gave wings to her efforts. NERLP gave her the platform to sell her products in places as far as Delhi, Guwahati and Shillong in trade fairs and events. In Tripura, The communities living in semi-urban areas takes up vegetable and petty business as part of their SHG activities. Initially, they received a revolving fund of 20,000 rupees after the formation of the SHG. With the help of loans, they could expand their area of cultivation. The SHGs are earning handsome profit margin, and the members are able to afford a better standard of living.
NERLP is, actually women empowerment in action. I had the opportunity to visit and interact with the NERLP self-help group women in Tripura and in Mizoram. It was, really heartening to know that many poor women in Tripura villages, their life have been transformed through NERLP. I sat down with them, with those self-help group. Then I talked to each one of them, how their life has been transformed, in what way NERLP can be improved, whether they are happy with the local officials. It was really a learning experience for me, and I came away with lots of happiness.
NERLP extends technical support to the community development groups to prepare a community development plan.
The project is also now implementing close to about 150 community development plans that will enable them to take better care of their natural resources that is vital for sustaining the livelihoods in the long term.
In Aizawl, Mizoram, an all-weather approach road was constructed under Community Development Plan for the inhabitants to carry water from the source. All the difficulties which the locals had to encounter in the past because of a dilapidated road is gone. Villagers of Chamring in Mizoram had to spend 2,500 rupees per month per household to buy water. The community could not spend their hard-earned money on livelihood activities. The project intervened to improve drinking water supply by tapping the water source. NERLP constructed a collection tank at the source and installed a 20 HP pump to pump up the water through pipes to the existing reservoirs about 3 kilometers away. As part of the project, the existing reservoir and distribution pipelines were utilized to supply water. Today, the villagers do not have to buy water. NERLP always insists on value for money. In implementation of CDPs, therefore, the communities are required to follow the prescribed community procurement practice. Good community procurement practice, like purchasing the right quality and quantity from the right source at the right price, time and place, will benefit the communities. NERLP has transformed huge plots of barren land to agricultural activity. Cardamom cultivation is an image of this transformation. This has been made possible by tapping the natural source of water and constructing concrete waterways to take the water to the agricultural lands. NERLP has enabled economic and livelihood opportunities by managing natural resources and improving agriculture for food security.
Especially in areas where we are not able to reach our government programs, schemes like NERLP will generate the demand for those schemes. And once people know that they can get these schemes, I think we would have served our purpose.
We are very confident that by end of the project, we will provide much better livelihood to the people. Poor people will rise much above poverty level and sustain.
The Northeast Rural Livelihood Project has empowered the targeted section of the society from within. The battle for poverty eradication has reached a milestone. Social transformation has rejuvenated their lives. Today, the poorest of the poor are self-dependent, goal-oriented, and are inspiring success stories.